right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris. We're getting close to the end now, aren't we? I can see it. I can almost touch the end of the series now. So we love these series, don't we? But fuck me, by about this time, I am ready for it to be over. Bit of a grueling schedule, isn't it? But where do you want to start today, Chris? As if I don't know, we've got to start with the recoupling, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, Dave. We lost two guys. We lost Connor and Benny. And, Dave, didn't Moira get the udders of that cow and milk the fuck out of that? That was an Oscar-winning performance. I've not seen anything so dramatic since I went to see the Cats at the London Palladium, Dave. It wasn't the best.
But, I mean, first up, we had Sally, didn't we? So the cliffhanger yesterday sort of finished off with Moira, but we started off with Sally. And I think, Chris, you might have nailed this prediction.
Hang on, am I right?
Well, maybe, because something happens at the end, doesn't it? Which sort of swings it all. But for 95% of the episode, I'm thinking, oh, Chris has done me here. He's got one right for a change. But yeah, Benny's doing, well, pretty much what he's done since he came in. He just stands there, not doing a lot. But Sally does end up picking Johnny. So just as you called it, Chris.
Thanks, Dave. That's one of 500 predictions that I got right there. Thank you for my average fucking hit ratio is terrible. But it's all coming together. They had a lovely chat, didn't they? Johnny's like, I'm falling for you. There was tears, everything. And you know, you're thinking, this is it. They may, and I said to you, they might just swing back into America's hearts as the team. Dave, what does Johnny do? You know, at the end of the show, you think, you dickhead, Dave. We'll get on about that in a minute. But yeah, he's absolutely dropped a bollock by the looks of it. I think, anyway, but they do edit it quite well, so it leaves you hanging, doesn't it? Like, I've got to watch the next episode. But he may have dropped another clanger.
Well, at least Sally's there this time. I'm pretty confident. We'll get to the two new girls, I'm sure, but I'm pretty confident if that was another Casa Amor situation, we'd see an exact replay. But, I mean, next up we had Kirsten. Probably no real surprises that she picked Bennett, apart from Calvin. You know, when she's saying all these nice things, I think for both Kirsten and also Laurel, when, you know, Calvin's smiling away there, it's like, oh, she's saying nice things about me.
Oh, I was pissing myself again, Dave. It was like when the girls did it, wasn't it? When the lads were picking the girls and he picked him. And he had that, his little freckles and dimples come out. He was really shining through there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He went, oh, he really makes me nervous. And then she went, Carrington. I was like, He literally got the booby prize there. And look, Dave, I'm still not convinced by Calvin one bit. Laurel has made a choice. She's barked a few things over the last few days. I think it's probably the right choice, if I'm being honest. I'm not a big fan of Carrington or Calvin, but at the moment, I think Carrington is trying to be a better person, whether it's for this TV show, which some of our listeners have said on the emails, I don't know. But Calvin's a player, Dave, and he is getting exposed for me. Not in a bad way. I don't think he's a bad guy, but it's so obvious he's desperado to stay in the villa.
Yeah, it was down to the last, wasn't it? And you could see he had three potential girls who could have picked him. So Laurel could have picked him, Kirsten could have picked him, and it comes down to Moira. And Connor he cut his own legs off, didn't he, with the whole chat with Moira about sort of he's still got feelings for Mackenzie. And obviously, you know, we've had our episodes. I thought Mackenzie was particularly distasteful in it. And that last week that she was in, she was really bad, I thought. But I tell you what, Chris, it did sort of get me a bit. You know, when Connor got out and then he's on the phone to Mackenzie. She's there with Gus. And it looks like they're going to make a go of it on the outside. And he looked so happy, Chris. I must admit, as skeptical as I can be, I do actually, I want to see them and if they can work on the outside.
Dave, it's the worst fucking relationship we've ever seen, right? Ever. There's no way these fuckers are going to work together. She's going to have Connor off like there's no tomorrow. He's an idiot anyway. Let's not put all the blame on Mackenzie. We've talked about loads of times. He's stupid. There's no way he should be going anywhere near her after what she's done to him. However, real life is real life. It's not a TV show. If they make it, they're unbelievable. But Connor, I tell you what Connor needs to do, Dave. He needs to get in the gym, work on his back, because he's going to be sat there on all fours as a fucking buffet table for the feet. She's going to have her feet up on his back, slapping his ass with a fucking feather, going, go and get my drinks and that. He is going to be a fucking doormat. And I'm saying that from a position, Dave, where I am shit scared of my wife and do pretty much the same. So get out, Connor, while you can. Sam's going to be listening to this, Dave, but fortunately, she's quite a bit behind us. I will make sure when she listens to this episode, I am nowhere to be seen, okay? I will not be on all fours, Dave, but he is going to be an absolute doormat. And, we've stuck up for him and everything. He's a clown, Dave. I'm sorry. I'm off the Connor train now. He's gone. Goodbye. See ya. If you're willing to go back to Mackenzie, it's not Mackenzie's fault this time. It's your own. And I even called him out for what happened when Mackenzie cheated on him. He's a donut, Dave. See ya. Bye. Don't let the door hit you on the back of the fucking head on the way out, Dave. That's me. Done.
So you're not convinced then?
Well, I'm not buying a fucking hat, Dave. I'm not expecting our invitation to Las Vegas anyway for the fucking wedding with Elvis. That's not happening.
you know, I don't know. I guess because it's in this pressure cooker environment, I just wonder. There's that element of doubt for me. That outside of that pressure cooker environment, could they actually work? Could they work? I think they've got plenty of working on to do themselves. I'm pretty sure that they'll both look back at the tapes and what have you, and then see how they've behaved and can correct that. I think if they did that, they could potentially have a go. But I think I'm stretching a little bit there because again, I think I said it in the first week that this relationship that they have sort of reminds me a little bit of my first proper relationship. And the problem was that when the good moments were good, they were
Yeah.
great. They were absolutely fantastic. But then you just ended up in this toxic kind of environment and you end up flip flopping between, it being great and it being terrible. So I think, yeah, you're probably right. But I'm leaving a 5% sort of chance that it could actually work, but only if they work on their problems on the outside.
Okay, Dave. Now, this is the full stop of their relationship. We've talked about it enough. We've been called out for talking about it enough. What's going to happen is we're going to get fucking Mr. Cuddles teddy bear, her and him on the front of, I presume they have OK Magazine or whatever it is, the equivalent in America. I'm sure it's OK Magazine. I'm sure I saw it on the vending stands when I was in Vegas, New York. They're going to be on there, Dave. They're going to milk the fuck out of it for 2 months, and then it's going to be, unrecognizable differences. I'm sorry, we've had to split, but we're just going to stay good friends. No, you're not. You hate each other. You're going to get a magazine deal out of it. Let's put you on some no mark talk show, and we'll see you in 2 months when you fucking split up. And I can guarantee, Dave, this is going to come back and bite me on the fucking ass because they're going to turn around in a year and go, they're happily married. They've got a child on the way. Mr. Cuddles has actually got a human child friend now, Dave. So I probably will be with one of my predictions, but I just smell complete bullshit completely. But anyway, because if you remember, and I'm hot today, this is what happened last year with Kira and what's it called? The guy, the drummer guy.
Oh,
Cashel,
yeah,
and he
yeah.
come and he did the old Richard Gere, lift me up and all that bollocks. And he come and she was so emotional, and they're not together either, Dave. So it was all for the TV show, unfortunately.
I don't think many of them are together anymore. But anyway, Chris,
No.
let's get on to something a bit less controversial. Only joking. Let's get on to Moira. So Moira, she makes a nice, well, not nice, but quite an emotional speech. I think she probably did want to pick Connor, but the fact that he said, he's still got feelings for Mackenzie, she basically knows there's nothing happening there. We haven't seen her speak at all to Benny. So, she's saying it's the hardest decision she's ever had to make. So I can only think that's between Connor and Calvin, recoupling with him. So, but then, like, literally right after, sorry, she coupled with Calvin, didn't she? And then,
Yeah.
literally the day after, she's like, you know what? I quite like a bit of Bennett. I just can't keep up, Chris. What do you reckon to Moira in the villa at the minute?
She needs to go as well, Dave. I've had enough of her now. I'm really not having it today. I think she's a nice girl. I think her heart's in the right place, but she's just not read the fucking memo with Love Island. And I've got to say, to be fair, the girls stitched her up a kipper when they were going, well, I know, Kirsten's your friend and that, but you've got to get over there. You're looking good in your bikini and that. Get over there, bit of flirting. Sits there, he goes, oh, I might get a few tan lines. Oh, great that, yeah. Bennett sat there, fucking tumbleweed. It just didn't work. I felt so sorry for her,
You
Dave.
know what? I've yeah. Again, I saw a bit of myself in that, just awkwardly
I've done,
fucking.
I've done stuff like that, Dave.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
The thing is, I think Justine didn't do her any favors. Justine was like, "Oh, it's all right. I'll get Calvin away." And then I can't remember, he says, meet him in the kitchen or something. So then Justine just walks off to the kitchen and Calvin's still lying there with Bennett. So what exactly could Moira do? Because she wants to keep her options open. She wants to explore things with Bennett, but she just literally recoupled with Calvin.
I
So
did, yeah.
it was so awkward, wasn't it? I did
Yeah.
feel sorry for her at that point.
I did. I know I'm having a bit of a pop at, but I did feel sorry for her. She's not going to find love, Dave. I think there's probably going to be at least one more guy comes into the villa at the way it's going, and there'll be people going. But I honestly can't see anything happening for her at all in here. She doesn't seem compatible with anybody, and Connor was the more obvious choice, but he just wasn't there. He was all for Mackenzie, whether we agree with that or not. So you know, I think she'll go. I think the next recoupling, you'll probably see her go like what Connor's done, Dave, and they'll weed out the proper thing where we'll get to the point within them because it's literally in the last week now that we're going to get the proper true couples together.
She's done all right though, hasn't she? Considering the amount of blokes she's sort of tried it and then it's not worked out for whatever reason. I can't remember anyone similar lasting for so long. I mean, we're basically in the final stretch now, aren't we? And she's had these like few day relationships with various people, and it's just never ever worked out.
No, I mean, I always think about. I don't know whether you were the same, but when you go out as a group of friends, and when I was younger, before Sam, like we'd all go out the lads, and you always had that one friend who wasn't confident, like with the girls, even with a load of
So,
beer down him or what.
sounds like me.
Well, I'm not saying I was Mr. Confidence. I might have been as I've got older, but I'm not now. I wasn't when I was younger. We're all probably the same, weren't we? All like worried and stuff. And we used to go out and literally, if he got off or sort of got a girl's number, Dave, we'd be fucking hugging him like we won the FA Cup final or some World Cup. We'd be like, yeah, like you're waiting for like fucking Simon Cowell to go, you lift me up, and we're all there fucking hugging him, yes, So I can see with Moira, if she does get with somebody, Dave, a bit like Anton when he ended up with Bell, didn't he? He had so many rejections in the UK series last year. There's nothing I dislike about Moira, but I'm just overseeing it because I just don't think one, she understands what the show's about, and she should do by now. And two, whatever ideology she has of what her perfect guy is, you're not going to get Ken from Ken and Barbie. You're not going to get this amazing person with Brad Pitt's looks or whatever her type is, and this guy who's going to, sweep her off her feet. That's not real life, Dave. It doesn't happen, man or woman, whoever you end up with. So I think unfortunately, maybe she's led a sheltered life. I don't know, but yeah, we're off the train, Dave. Unfortunately.
I agree. She does have to go now. I think at the end we do get two new girls coming in, don't we?
Oh
And
yes.
so I don't know. Are we gonna are we gonna get are we gonna get more blokes come in? I've got to feel we've just lost two guys. I've got to feel at the next recoupling, you know, probably not tomorrow, but the day after, we're going to lose a couple of girls at least. So I just think she's not going to make the cut this time
No.
around. I don't think she can't fucking rely on Calvin for fuck's sake. So
No, no, I agree. I don't think so. What do you mean, Dave? What did you think about the new girls coming in? What a shock! Even though we'd seen it last night, but
yeah, I mean we had the striptease game, and I thought Carrington was pretty good, wasn't he?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He
It's
had
got the
some
moves.
moves there, and I'm not surprised because I'm pretty sure he's practiced a lot in the mirror. So it shouldn't be any surprise there. I think Bennett
Yeah.
was probably the opposite. It was very obvious he hadn't done anything like that. And, tell you what, for the girls though, Chris, I thought Kirsten won it for me.
Yeah, Dave, as my wonderful wife listens to this, Dave, who I love dearly, that's all I'm going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Carrington sort of looked a bit, might have made a mistake here.
Yeah, she had it going on, Dave. She certainly had it going. I thought Justine was good though as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
good.
She did the whole thing, and she pulled the top open for Caleb. He was like, "Holy shit," you know. So that was good. But Dave, the new girls came in. We had the devil and the angel,
Yeah.
and the angel was definitely not an angel, Dave, because it looks like old Johnny Boy's dropped another rip, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, both come in looking absolutely stunning, aren't they? And Julia from Miami, she was the angel. I think she's definitely caught Johnny's eye. She's definitely caught Dave's eye. So, you know, I think it's going to be interesting. Like I say, for 95% of it, I thought, Johnny, you have pulled this out the fire. You've managed to claw your way back. And actually, all you need to do now is do the whole "will you be my girlfriend" thing, and that's it. You're in the final three for sure. Good chance of winning it. But then he's like, "Oh man, the angel." So, and you get a picture of Sally looking none too impressed. So again, are they making something? Is it a bit of a storm in a teacup that'll be over before it starts? I'd have to think they're that close to the end now. I'd be very, very surprised if Johnny fucks it up from here. But what do you
No.
reckon?
I don't think Johnny will. I think it's purely he was having a joke and Sally might give him a bit of a bollocking because his scars are still running deep after what's happened. I will say though, Dave, Calvin is going to be like a fucking rat up a drain pipe. Let's not beat around the fucking bush here. And I also think, Dave, I'm going to be controversial now. I think Carrington's head could be moved as well.
Oh,
I'm not seeing
100%.
anything. He's
100%.
definitely, yeah, he's hit them too, and maybe even Bennett because Bennett's gone with Kirsten. But I don't know what it is about Kirsten. She's a great looking girl, but like, I think she's probably the prettiest girl in there. But there's just something that the guys just don't really take to her, do they? I don't know whether she's just very ice queen or I don't know, but looks wise, you would think she's the perfect match for any of them. But obviously, I don't know what's the personality. She seems like a lovely girl, but she just doesn't seem to gel with anybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought her and Bennett got on pretty well. They were pretty affectionate with each other. So, but it's still very, very new, isn't it? I,
Yeah,
I think it's just more to do with the fact that she's clearly still not really over Carrington. I mean, we didn't see much of that tonight, although she was definitely enjoying when he was doing his dancing. So I think it's more to do with that than a personality. But I think all three of those blokes that you just said, Calvin definitely, Bennett, pretty sure he could be swayed. Just because, again, they're so new. You've got Moira trying to insert herself in there. I don't think she's got a chance. Um, so yeah, I think they're going to mix things up a bit, but are they going to rock the boat with, say, Caleb or Johnny? I mean, Caleb would be the real shock, wouldn't it?
yes, I'd be
Because
amazed.
him and Justine seem to be, growing quite nicely at the minute. I know Terence doesn't agree, but I from what I see, I've got to ask you, Chris, did Caleb, let out a sneaky fart, or was he blowing raspberries there? I mean, these guys are clearly eating a lot of protein, aren't they? But so
Nobody does that on these shows, David. That's disgusting. They don't do that sort of
yeah,
thing.
when she was like, "Oh, not having it anymore," and she got up, and I couldn't work out if it was a genuine fart or a raspberry. But
Yeah.
anyway, not that it totally matters. Now, Chris, we did have no emails or reviews today, but we did have a tweet from Auntie Kerry on Twitter, and it says, "I can't wait to hear your analysis of this recoupling. Connor needed to go, but I'm bummed about Benny. Also, how the fuck is Moira never happy?"
Brilliant.
So
Absolutely
can't
brilliant.
argue with that. And unfortunately, we don't have an answer for that. But probably her future is not inside the villa for us.
No, not at all. And If you want to contact us, guys, get the interactions in. We're on the last leg of this series. On social media, Twitter, Instagram, at CD RealityCast. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. Drop us a review. Doesn't matter what it is, good, bad, indifferent. We love getting reviews on the show, and it helps me and Dave get up them charts. And we've had a great time this series, guys. I really appreciate everyone. He's so nice to us. Even when we're getting criticism, so nice, Dave. They're all nice people, and we can't thank you enough, guys. So keep them coming. We really appreciate it.
Awesome, mate. Well, I'll speak to you again tomorrow.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye now.